Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of Pondaseta Road.
What makes it exciting?
Well, because patio weather is upon us and we love sitting outside drinking beer on nice hot days.
Right. I mean, I don't think it gets much better than hanging out, whether it's your patio or our lovely beer garden, and having a beer.
That's right. So what better way to open up patio weather than testing out Mexican lagers?
So we've got Modelo, Corona,
Any brew you want, as long as it's a Corona.
Pacifico, and Dos Equis.
And then to surprise ourselves, we're gonna throw in our own Mexican lager, Jefe.
Yep. Well, we've brewed Jefe since day one of our brewery. Comes out every summer. Usually launches around Cinco De Mayo and lasts as long as we have it available, basically. Usually that's the whole summer.
Right. So we're super excited for this beer. It's awesome to drink, easy, crisp, and refreshing.
What's your favorite part about a Mexican lager?
I think just how crisp and clean it is, and the fact that you can drink about 500 of them.
Whether you choose to drink your Mexican lager with salt and a lime, or just straight, normal, non-adulterated, or making a michelada, I mean, there's a lot of options with these beers.
Yeah.
Seen lots of beer cocktails done with Mexican style lagers too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're a fan of the dosequis.
I do love dosequis.
You know, I can't say that that's my go-to. I'd rather have a margarita or a beer.
I mean, what's better than mixing two alcohols together?
Before we get started, I want you guys to click subscribe, like and comment below, and you have a chance to win some stickers. We'll talk about that more later.
Well, let's drink some beer.
Okay, our producers are about to mix these up and pour us our samples. We're actually gonna pull Jefe out of the lineup because I think we're gonna recognize our own. We recognize Fast and Hazy really fast. So we're gonna make it a little more challenging by just tasting beers that are commercially brewed and we are not as familiar with. We're gonna turn around.
All right, no cheating. Let's go.
Wow.
Okay,
Those are a lot of the same looking beers.
they all look the same. This might be tougher than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, so just to recap real quick, while we were turned around, our producers poured 2 samples of each beer. They took away Jefe, like we said, we think we'll recognize that one pretty quickly. And they mixed them up. And so you can see we've got beer 1, 2, 3, 4. We have no idea what beer is what,
Right,
but that's our task.
that's right. So what we usually do is first look at color and clarity. Just my opinion, these two look to be similar color, and these two look to be similar color. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, would you, just guessing based on knowing of these beers and having drank them over time, what beer do you think would be the lightest color just based on that?
I'm thinking Corona.
That would have been my guess too.
I feel like Modelo would be darker, and I don't really know Sol. And well, we don't have
got
Sol.
no soul.
Pacifico, but I don't really know, and I don't know Sol.
God dang it. You got no soul,
I got
brother!
no Sol.
Ain't got no soul.
I'm thinking Modelo and Pacifico might be darker, but I don't really remember what Pacifico looks like.
Yeah, it's, I think it's gonna be tough. Okay, so clarity-wise, I mean, they're brilliantly clear. That's, I mean, not surprising at all. These are big breweries that have all of the equipment.
Right.
I mean, these products are filtered.
Right.
These products are made to a specific standard, and they have to upkeep those standards, right? So, I mean, whether you buy it in Florida or in Texas or in Mexico, these beers are gonna taste the same.
Right. Speaking of tasting, why don't we get to drinking?
All right, let's jump in.
Start here.
Yep, beer 1.
Ooh. It's got a little sweetness to it.
Yeah, I get a I definitely pick up on a little malty sweetness thing there, or maybe just like an implied sweetness.
A light honey, maybe.
Mm-hmm. It almost made me think of almost diacetyl, but it's definitely, I don't think it's diacetyl.
I taste a little diacetyl.
Oh, do you?
Yes. I don't know if my brain is truly picking that up.
I'm not tasting it as diacetyl. I don't think it's an off flavor. I think it's just that light honey sweetness, and there is zero hop to like offset that.
Yeah.
You have
any guesses? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Next beer.
Next. I don't know if everybody at home knows this, but like clear glass and green glass allows more UV light through the bottles. And so that's where your skunky flavors come from. And I didn't pick up on any skunkiness.
I didn't get any skunkiness.
So knowing that, I might guess Pacifico.
I'm not going to guess anything because I don't want you to trick me like last time.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Moving right along. Number 2.
Okay, I get a mild amount of skunkiness, but not overwhelming. I don't get that same honey note, do you?
No, I didn't get the sweetness, that honey note. I do taste a little bitterness compared to this one. I think I might know what that one is, but I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, rude. Is there a mild acetic quality, like almost approaching vinegar?
I don't know if I get that.
It's like a little bite at the end.
There is definitely a bite. Yeah, it's a little sharper than this one. Pretty good.
So you have a guess?
I have a guess. Number 3. Ooh, I know what that one is. All right, so right off the bat, pretty skunky.
Yeah, significantly more skunky than this. And I barely picked up on skunkiness there, but I think a touch.
There's not it's pretty cloudy out today, so there's not a lot of direct sunlight coming in, but still some of the UV rays are changing the smell and the taste on this one.
Well, I think more importantly, we're talking about how long it's been in package. That UV light happens right away.
Right. Yeah, and we notice when we're drinking on the patio, when we get a pour of Jefe, like as soon as we sit down, it's already changed just from walking inside to outside at our table.
And I think we probably noticed it even more, obviously, maybe on some of like the IPAs. If we sit outside for a minute, that I-40 comes to mind.
I-40 for sure.
It's our House West Coast IPA. It changes pretty quickly. Okay, so back to this though. You think you know what this one is?
Yes.
If I had to guess right now, I'm thinking this could be Corona.
Maybe.
You're still not going to share what your thoughts are?
No.
All
I'm
right.
going to let you trick me again. Tasting number 4.
All right. Definitely feeling like this is our darkest colored sample.
For sure. A little bit of skunkiness.
Yeah. I'd say more in line with beer number 2. Would you agree? The skunk level?
Skunk level? No.
I get straight vinegar in this now. I don't know why.
I don't get it. I think this one has a mixture of skunkiness and a little bit of the sweetness.
Yeah, I definitely smell. I was about to say the same thing. A little
Sure
bit of
you were.
little bit of malty sweetness on the front. Still a little bit of that skunkiness. It's interesting. I've heard stories about breweries experimenting with modern hop products that prevent that sun reaction happening, and then their customers freak out because it doesn't taste the same thing. There is some just like value and like goodness that can come from that skunky flavor in a product that you
Right.
expect it to be there.
Right. All right. What you think? You have a guess?
I have no fucking clue. Do you have a guess on all of them?
I think I do. And I'm not going to tell you until the very end.
Well, I think we're almost there, buddy.
Are we at the end?
Okay. So do you want to go first? I think we said last time you have to go first since I went first.
All right. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to stick to my guns. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't really care. It's fine. This is fun.
Ready?
Let's take a guess. All right. Number 1, I'm guessing Pacifico. Number 2, I'm guessing Dos Equis. Number 3, I'm guessing Corona. And number 4, I'm guessing Modelo. How you feel about that?
I think those are good guesses. I'm going to go different.
Okay.
Slightly.
You sure?
I agree with you. Number 1, 100%. I'm very confident. That's Pacifico.
Okay.
And from there, I'm a little less confident. Okay, so Pacifico.
Okay.
I'm going to say Modelo. I have not drank as much Modelo, and in my head, if you had just asked me what's your favorite Mexican lager, I would not have said Modelo. I would have said I probably don't care for it that much. I think of myself as liking Dos Equis, and since I didn't like that one, I don't want it to be Dos Equis.
Okay.
So Modelo, pretty confident that the amount of skunkiness here is the giveaway for me. I'm pretty sure this is Corona.
Okay.
And number 4 is going to be Dos Equis because I found it to be more enjoyable than number 2. But like you said, there's some similarity between 2 and 4.
Yeah.
So
All
what
right.
do you think? Are we locking those in?
I'm locking it in. I'm sticking to my guns this time. I'm not changing my answer.
Can't convince you to do it different?
No, I'm sticking with it.
All right, so let's get a reveal. Nick, what do we got?
Beer number 1 was Dos Equis. You both guessed Pacifico.
Okay.
I did like it, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
Beer number 2 was Pacifico. Trevor guessed Dos Equis. Kaleb guessed Modelo.
So we're gonna get them all wrong.
Yeah, they're all wrong.
Beer number 3 is Corona.
All right.
Oh, we got one.
And beer number 4 is Modelo. Trevor guessed Modelo. Kaleb guessed Dos Equis.
Damn it. You got 2, right?
I got 2. 2 out of 4. Okay, wow. I did not remember, drinking Dos Equis all the time. I do not remember it tasting so sweet.
I know, and that's where like that cross comparison gets a little weird because I can't say that I've ever sat down and done tasting notes on multiple Mexican lagers at once. Like, we like to think of our Jefe as being somewhere in the line of Dos Equis. But that's interesting. Like, having these side by side, you definitely pick up on one being a little more sweet or a little more bitter. The sharpness and I thought I liked Pacifico, and
Yeah, I haven't had a Pacifico in at least 10 years, so I had no clue what it tasted like. I didn't hate that one as much as you did. These two are definitely skunky. I'm not much of a skunky person. This one still tastes sweet to me, and I don't know if my mind's playing tricks on me. I still get a little bit of diacetyl, just a small hint.
diacetyl is actually butter flavor. They'll even make fake butter and add diacetyl to it to make it taste more like real butter.
Like movie butter popcorn.
Let's bring out some Jefe and compare it. I'm curious. We always tell people that Jefe is closer to a Dos Equis than other beers, but honestly, I think people are really opinionated about Mexican-style lagers, and everybody's like, I'm a Corona guy or I'm a Modelo guy, so I'm curious where it's going to shake out. What do you think?
There's only one way to find out.
All right.
Pour some samples.
Can we get some beers? Okay, so we're back. We grabbed a couple of fresh pours of the Jefe. That's Pondaseta's Mexican-style lager.
Based off of first looks, I just poured this out of our bright tank, which is the tank we use to carve up the beer and package off of. So I literally just poured it out of here. It looks a little lighter in color than the 4 of these.
And I was guessing we could actually be darker in color based on that Vienna malt edition, but
Right.
I'd say we're for sure in the range. Okay, should we try it?
Let's do it.
Still pretty clear, but not perfectly clear.
Right.
So no skunkiness,
No skunkiness.
no distinct hop aroma either, which is expected because this is a Mexican-style lager.
Get a little bit of sweetness, probably not as much as I do with the Dos Equis.
Would agree.
Do get a little bitterness on the
Mhm.
flavor, but it doesn't seem as harsh as the Pacifico.
Fully agree with you there. I get a little bit of like a round sweetness towards the end of the sip,
Yeah.
and that's really pleasant. It helps keep it a little bit more balanced than sharp like the Pacifico, but like you said, not as distinctly sweet as the Dos Equis. I actually
Yeah.
find this to be maybe closer to Modelo.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I feel like it has some characteristics of all 3, Dos Equis, Pacifico, and Modelo. In that sense, the sweetness, a little bit of bitterness, and then just a little bit of that maltiness right there.
I would agree with you. And I get like a bready, almost biscuity taste in the background.
What do you say we rank these beers from top to bottom?
Can we start with the bottom?
We can start with the bottom. All right, tell us what you think. Since I won, and I got 2 out of 4 right.
Do I have to go first?
Yeah, loser goes first.
Pacifico, disgusting. I don't want it ever again.
Okay.
I kind of upset because I thought I liked it. But up from that, and I would say quite a bit up from that, is Corona. I think I would prefer Corona if it had a little less skunkiness, but that skunkiness helps balance out the rest of it, and it's definitely not horrible. I understand why people drink
As long
tons
as
of
it's
it.
a girl.
But for me, that's number 4. So 5, 4. And here's where I get a little lost because I like the Modelo more than I thought I would. And I like its balance because it ties in that sweetness and that sort of bitterness, skunky component nicely. But I'm going to say 3.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta sip again.
We drank all that one, so you can't taste it anymore.
Okay. I want to rank my beer the best, generally speaking, but I'm gonna say it clocks in for me as number 2.
Okay.
Hurts me to say that a little bit, but Dos Equis for me is probably my favorite one.
Okay.
So to recap, my list from bottom to top: Pacifico, Corona, Modelo, Jefe, and my favorite was Dos Equis. I'm glad we compare ours to Dos Equis, but I think it's the mildest. I think that's probably one of the reasons why it's currently speaking to me. I think salt and lime obviously is a common way to serve this up.
Or in a margarita.
You drink 100 of those. Similarly, I think I could drink 100 Jefes, but if I'm picking out my top one, that's where I'm at.
Dos Equis?
All right, so talk about mine. What are your favorites? What do you think?
Okay, so number 5 for me is Pacifico. I don't know. It just doesn't taste like anything
convinced
good. Not exactly. It's just the worst one on the table. So then number 4, I don't know. I just got a flavor on this beer, which is Dos Equis, which is the beer I drink the most. Like I said earlier, if they don't have our beer or an IPA or something at a restaurant, I usually just get a Dos Equis. Today, I wasn't loving it. And then this number 3, the third beer on my list, actually redeemed itself, Corona, because when I first started drinking beer, I may have snuck a few out of my aunt's barn. It was the only thing we could get, sneak at the moment. Sorry, Mom. But I used to think Corona tasted like someone drank a Corona, spit it back in the bottle, and then you were drinking someone's backwash.
That's harsh.
Yeah. But I feel like my palate's changed, and it's actually not that bad today.
Yeah. I would agree with you.
Yeah. And number 2, it saddens me to say, is gonna be Jefe. It's great beer. I love drinking it here, but I feel like Modelo will be number 1. It has a great balance of skunkiness, sweetness, bitterness, a little bit of maltiness. I think it's just the beer, and I would say I drink Modelo just a little bit less than Dos Equis. So,
I mean, I think it's interesting and good to point out that like Modelo is, I think, the most popular Mexican lager in the United States right now.
that was a fun tasting. I just want to recall that I won 2 out of 4, and you got 1 out of 4. How you feel about that?
Pretty poor performance on my part. But I do think it's important that you guys may notice we're wearing different outfits. This is a whole different day. We had some technical audio issues, but we wanted to wrap this up.
Right.
Trevor's right. He destroyed me.
I mean, Caleb thinks that he has a better palate than me. Maybe he does. These were Mexican lagers, so it's all good.
I think it's interesting that we each picked different favorites. But I think it's time to drink a Jefe now. What do you think?
All right. So we're gonna enjoy our Mexican lager Jefe.
Whether you like to drink it with a squeeze of lime or maybe a tahini or salted rim,
I like my lime on the side.
the important thing is drinking beer, hanging out in a beer garden, and enjoying some summer fun.
That's right. Don't forget to comment on our video and tell us which one is your favorite Mexican lager, and we'll send you guys some free stickers. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's pretty good. That was my first beer in 5 days.